Marjorie Taylor Greene, Silvio Berlusconi, the Italian fascist, Marie Le Pen, Tucker Carlson, the rest of the gang, and unfortunately, a couple of people on the left have gotten the idea that the problem here is that NATO provoked Russia, and that justified NATO's expansion, provoked Russia and justified this invasion. That's complete nonsense. But the important thing is, what is the reason? Putin actually wrote a 6,800-word essay, a monster, on why he was going to seize and take over all of Ukraine. And he put that out in June of 2021. We should have been ready for this because he did it all. And there's not one single mention of NATO. There's only a slight mention of NATO positive, believe it or not. So what's going on here? What's going on, Putin is trying to become Putin the Great, not restore the Soviet Union, but to restore an imaginary empire that was founded in the 10th century called the Kievan Rus Empire, and that Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus are one great and single Slavic nation. The problem was it didn't happen. He has this fever dream of history that there was this great Slavic empire and that it was a crime that Ukraine was taken away from the Ruski Mir, the Russian world. And by the way, he doesn't blame NATO. He blames the Bolsheviks. He blames Lenin and the rest because, Ukraine has never, ever in history been a part of Russia. That's a complete misunderstanding that Putin has been very successful in selling. In fact, the Bolsheviks and always recognized the independent nation of Ukraine, and it had its own seat since the founding of the United Nations. And so there was no such thing. But he wants to recreate this single nation, become Vlad the Great. Yeah. And he explains that in this 21-page essay. Are you still hearing me?
I am, and spot on. And I've been saying on this program for months now that he's basically trying to become Catherine the Great. And now I'm no student of Russian history. Apparently, you have become one here. And
yes.
But is that what's going on? I mean, he's looking back at the people who consolidated empire and thinking that this is his legacy before he died. I mean, the guy's 70 years old. He seems to have health problems. This is the world he wants to leave.
Well, but it's not just any world. It's not just creating a larger Russian Slavic empire that had never existed. The second casus belli, the second reason for invading Ukraine, is to restore the supremacy of the Muscovite Russian Orthodox Church. You have to understand there's a schism. The Ukrainian Orthodox Church is split away. And of course, you've got the Greeks, and he's no friend of the Catholics or Muslims either. So he has decided that his main aim is to restore the power of Kirill, who is the source of his own political power. Putin is nothing without the Patriarch Kirill in Moscow. And Kirill has lost grip of Ukraine. So the idea is to bring back Russian values and the Russian Orthodox Church values. And he's not concerned about cruise missiles from Poland. He's not concerned. What he's concerned about is homosexuals from NATO. That's one of the big things. If you read his writings, it's all about the traditional Russian family. Kirill is absolutely overwhelmed, as is Putin. They're completely absorbed with the idea that there is this transgender mixing of sexes in the West, which is poisoning and undermining the traditional Russian culture. And that's what he's very concerned about. He's a religious man, and he's really very much the handmaiden. He is not the power in Russia. Kirill, the head of the Orthodox Church there is, and the split away of the Ukrainians, not only religiously but culturally, is a threat. Yeah, and I think that's the threat that they are trying to crush.